What makes you think first that NCR is ready to make that shift to alert level 1? And how do you balance that with fears of another surge?
Well, you've seen it basically, last year in the last quarter. We did the early lockdown, that was Delta. We say that fourth quarter, 7.7 GDP was the result. No? Then come January, you had Omicron coming in, became the dominant variant. But we all knew that eventually this variant would be not as dangerous as Delta. It proved to be mild for those who have taken the vaccines. And that's why NCR has benefited the most because the percentage of who have been vaccinated with 2 doses and now going for their booster shots has hit as high as 90%, even close to 100%. So NCR definitely has been insulated. Even in the height of Omicron, we did not see the hospitals hit capacity. It was barely maybe at 50% capacity. So we know the characteristic of this variant, and that's why the whole team is pushing for vaccination.
Well, apart from NCR, Sir Joey, what other areas would you deem ready at this stage to actually shift to alert level 1? And apart from vaccination coverage, what other parameters do you think should the government take into account?
Well, I think what's very important is those areas that are the 70 to 80% vaccinated can, to my mind, move towards alert level 1. That is important. No? I think the goal right now is to focus on the economy. We have a good handle with the health situation, as you can see. The prediction of Octa Research is cases are moving down and will continue to move down. And that's why the push of the private sector is to move to alert level 1 as soon as possible. And hopefully that's done this month or at the latest, the first week of March. As Secretary Chua said, what's important is that we need to improve economic activity. The government, as you know, needs tax revenues, and tax revenues can only happen if companies do well. No, private sector, MSMEs start to bounce back. And you can see that many have responded to a robust fourth quarter last year. It cannot just be the fourth quarter last year that does great. No? So you can see the debt to GDP has crept beyond 60%. Carchu has said that we have borrowed close to 11 trillion pesos. So how do you expect to pay for those loans that we have been securing for the health system? So we really have to open up, not all sectors, no, from entertainment to concerts to sports to restaurants. Everything should open up now. And of course, you have election in a way that somehow will stimulate the economy. Election spending normally in every election year that happens. Schools, hopefully we can open the schools to face-to-face come June. I think there's enough, there are a couple of months for us to prepare to get every student fully vaccinated and the faculty so that schools can finally open up. And school activity helps also stimulate the economy, especially the small carinderias and the canteens and all of that. And of course, getting our own people back to work. No? As you know, everybody has been working from home. Working from home actually doesn't create economic activity. We want them to go out of their house and start to work and ride the public transportation or whatever and eat outside. So that helps stimulate the economy. So we have to push towards this direction. Now, Octo feels that there is a good window of 6 months. They don't see any variant coming in. I'm sure DOH, of course, is worried that there could be, and we don't know. But at least our visibility is quite clear that in the next couple of months, things should be fine.
In relation to that, you're suggesting to just do away with the 5-level alert system, not necessarily do away, but at least trim it down to 3 levels muna. How would that affect this push you have for making it strict, for protecting the unvaccinated? And wouldn't this, let's say, possibly discourage people from getting vaccinated because open na parang why do I need to get vaccinated?
Well, that's why in places like here in the Bay Area, they require vaccination cards when you enter high-risk areas like gyms, like coliseums, like indoor dining in restaurants. So they require those. No? And when you travel to America, you have to have a vaccine card, and that's very important. So why trim it down from 5 to 3? Well, we should try to make it easier for people to understand, because the gap between 1, 2, 3, and 4 will be so, maliit lang yan. So we have to try to reduce it to 3. And Secretary Tabsex Nograles says that maybe alert level 1 will be the new normal, which I guess could be the new normal. And eventually, hopefully down the road, as the president lifts the national emergency on health, then when that is done, then the alert levels can be lifted. No, I feel that the alert levels can be used now as a transition, but eventually the new normal can maybe be alert level 1. But we don't really need to call it alert level 1. That's my own thinking. Everybody has their own idea. And use it only when it's needed, similar to typhoons. When a typhoon comes to the country, we already either put it level 1, level 2, and level 3. Hardly do we have a typhoon level 4. No?